So, tonight's Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Never
seen it.
Never seen the movie. Well, first off, do you know anything about Wonder Woman? Do you know...
She's a superhero.
She's a superhero. Well, that's one step. That's right. Okay, good.
It's a movie.
Yeah. Well, no. This Wonder Woman is a comic book character from, I want to say the 1930s, maybe the 1940s, somewhere around there. Yeah, she's been around for a long time. She's part of the holy trinity of the DC comics and so forth: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and so forth. Have you seen the trailers for this movie before?
I mean, if I did, it was a long time ago.
A long time ago. So you don't. You're going into this movie completely blind.
Pretty much.
Interesting. Because I've seen this movie. I saw this movie twice, actually.
Really? So you liked it?
Well, I don't want to say if I liked it or not, because
sounds like you liked it.
Well, they're gonna see whether I liked it after we watch it and do our review.
This is your third time watching the movie.
Right, but whether I liked it or not is not relevant, because the second time I went and saw it was...
You were on a date?
No, it wasn't on a date. I went and saw it by myself, opening weekend.
So you were on a date?
By myself, yes.
No. The second time you were on a date?
Well, no, because I went with a couple.
So you're on a date? You were on a threesome date?
They're like 25 years older than me, so that would be interesting. But yes, I went on. I met up with a couple of friends, a married couple, because they wanted to see it, and I owed them a movie because they paid for a movie for me.
Oh, so many details.
That's why I had to go see it a second time.
Life story, second time, da 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 da.
So we shall see if you like this movie or not. So, anyways, yes, we're about to start the first Wonder Woman movie. And then you'll see our review immediately after this. And then, because I'm going to edit this into... it's going to cut from this into the review.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the magic of editing.
Right.
Yeah, right?
That.
I mean, watch, I can even do it by hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right, so... Well, I've already seen this movie twice, 3 times now.
I thought this was your first time. Oh, no.
3 times.
Okay. Yeah.
And how about you?
My first time.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. I will admit, for me, I don't it's not as good as when I first saw it, and I think I know why.
Why?
Okay, so do you know anything about shared universes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know this is part of a shared universe?
Yes.
Okay, so you do know a bit about Wonder Woman.
No, I don't know that. I just understand that.
Okay. So, for those who don't know, and of course this is going to be another spoiler review, this shares a shared universe with the other DC movies, Batman, Superman, Aquaman, etc.
Well, of course it does.
Yes, but the 2 movies prior to Wonder Woman was Man of Steel, which was the first Superman movie of this DC universe, followed up by Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Okay, I didn't see either of those movies.
I didn't think you did.
Okay, I know nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, they're both. I don't want to say horrible movies. Dawn of Justice is a horrible movie. It is so. As a nerd, it is horrible. Man of Steel is also not that great as a Superman movie, but I gave it kind of a pass because it was different from the Christopher Reeve Superman and so forth. So I thought, it wasn't too bad. But Dawn of Justice was just absolutely horrible. So going into it, in Dawn of Justice, we saw a kind of a sneak peek of this movie in that movie, right? And I went into this movie thinking, okay, is this going to be another Zack Snyder, because that was the director of the 2 movies, type of movie where it's just sort of slog and pointless characters and pointless plot devices and so forth. And it wasn't, right?
No, it wasn't.
It definitely wasn't. Which kind of made a breath of fresh air compared to that, which is why I thought it was such a great movie. After watching it a third time, it's still a fine movie, but it has a lot of problems, right? But I want to also hear what you think about the movie. Any points of interest in the movie that you liked? Anything that stood out? Anything that... Okay. Well, for me,
I really liked it.
yes, you really liked it.
Yeah.
For me, some of the things that stood out that were good and bad. At the beginning of the movie, there are basically two openings, right? You see Diana in modern time in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a flashback to when she was a child. And then I suspect there was another opening, which was the original opening of the movie, which is Diana's mother telling Diana sort of the backstory to her people and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very presented in that sense. And you even mentioned during the screening
Yeah,
that...
it's like, why are you... Because it was the mother was supposed to be telling her the story, and then she's just like, your mother, like as if she's not the mother.
Correct, yes.
It's really weird.
It was very, very odd. So I suspect that was originally the original opening, and then the producers or Zack Snyder himself stepped in and went, "Well, no, we need to connect this to the multiverse, to the main universe. So put this scene in that connects to that one scene I had in Dawn of Justice." So that's probably why that happened. But once we get past that, it really clips along great.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. My favorite part of the movie was when they were in the trenches, and she wants to help, and she is a superhero and all that. So she climbs over the wall to go into no man's land and is drawing all the German fire while everybody. It's a magnificent scene. You get to see Gal Gadot in the full Wonder Woman outfit. You get to see her doing something very superhuman, super heroic, it's just a really like a powerful scene, especially for a female superhero, right? Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about? I mean, I know you don't watch many superhero movies, but like, how was it seeing an actual like a female lead, a female superhero?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, but some of the downsides to it, and a lot of people have said this, tend to come in the third act, right? So in the movie, basically, why Diana gets involved in World War I is because in that story we mentioned at the beginning, Ares, the god of war, was cast down from all the other Greek pantheon and was destined to like destroy the world and so forth. So she took it on herself to go and stop Ares. When they get to the third act, she actually meets up with Ares, and there's this big CGI battle that's just kind of a little bit over the top. And up until the point in which Ares revealed himself, there was this belief structure going on where Diana was like, it's Ares is doing it, I have to stop him, that's why I'm here, once I kill him, the war is over, man will be good. And Chris Pine's character is like, no, it's not, like, there's a war going on, there are people fighting for whatever reason. He never actually says this, that if you do that, it's going to end it in the war. He's got his job to do, right? He's got to get his information passed on, and he's got to try to stop this big gas attack that's happening in the movie. And I thought that would have been a great sort of, not finale, but like, Diana believes this one German general is Ares. She kills him, and then sees the war is still happening. And has this sort of realization that it's not a matter of gods versus men, but just that men are like that. And how she has to sort of adapt and like stop the war in a different way. But they don't. Right? She kills the one German general, sees that the war is still going, can't believe that didn't work, and then Ares shows up, she fights Ares, she beats Ares, and the war ends. And I just found that to be so far less interesting.
Yeah, it did the third act did kind of like start to drag a little bit.
Very much so. It was...
like, especially compared to how quickly everything else went along.
Mm-hmm. Well, because everything else went along so quickly because you were so interested
You're
in.
engaged.
You were engaged in Diane. Well, for one thing, being kind of a fish out of water in the real world, and how Chris Pine's character was just so motivated to get his missions done and so forth, and how like a goddess would actually work in World War One. And then it just becomes a giant CGI slugfest between two gods at the end, and the good guy happens to win. So, yeah.
So third time watching it, not so great?
No. And now, on the second time watching it, one of the reasons, yes, I had to see it a second time is because my friends wanted to see it. But also, we're filming this in 2021.
We are?
I don't know how to watch. Yes. I'm pretty sure if movie theaters ever reopen again, if they'll still have what's called D-Box. Have you ever done D-Box before?
No.
Basically, when you go to watch a movie, and you have the screen, you have the surround sound, you can buy these special chairs that when you turn them on, will like rock and jiggle and whatnot during the movie.
Weird.
So they time it to certain points in the movie that, like, say an explosion happens, the chair will like jolt to one side. It's an attempt to try to engage you in what's happening. So I wanted to try that because they had just come out in the theater near me. I was like,
I've
okay,
never
cool.
heard of that.
Yeah. Not worth the money at all.
Oh.
This is gonna be this is gonna be a side review. Here's the timestamp to when we finish talking about D-Box. Okay. Anyways. So in D-Box, basically, that chair, they move around. And it was so distracting.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I didn't like it at all. Like, there was one point in the movie, when, like, they're on horseback and so forth. And the chair started doing that. And I'm like, well, as a viewer, my perspective isn't from the horse. My perspective is watching the person from above ride the horse. So why would I be feeling like doing this?
Yeah, but if you're just above, then you wouldn't be feeling anything.
That's fine. Like, there were some
But
times
what would be the point of the D-Box?
Well, no, there were some points in the that were worked, like when the camera's like in the air swooping down, right? Like those long shots, like on the first.
So it would be kind of like when we went to Flyover Canada.
In a sense, yes. Those are the moments that worked for the D-Box. But there was a lot of other times they had no idea what they were doing. So they were like, "Oh, there's an explosion on the right. Move the chair to the right." Yeah, but the camera isn't. Just do it. Now they're on a horse. Move the horse like you're on a horse. But we're not on a horse. Just do it. It was very distracting to me. I mean, we really should go see a movie if movies ever open up again.
Like about in 10 years or something.
I hope it's not 10 years. I mean, Black Widow has been delayed for 12 years. Scarlett Johansson can't do the sequel anymore. Anyways, back to Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Overall, it is a decent superhero movie. There are better ones. It is definitely the best of the DC superhero movies. A lot of people are probably going to say that Aquaman's pretty good. I myself didn't like Aquaman. I much prefer Wonder Woman over all of the DC movies, including Justice League. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, and I'm pretty sure she liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Stay tuned for Wonder Woman 1984. We got that on the docket next up. And yeah, I guess we will see you in the next video, right?